Do you have any ideas what you would want your future sneaker to look like?
I think the biggest thing for me is just I would love a low top shoe. I play in a low top shoe, so that's something that I would love to have carry over and something that looks good. That's so key to me.
In the evolving landscape of women's basketball, few stories illustrate transformation as vividly as that of the Indiana Fever. At Sport Pulse, we've been tracking every twist and turn as this storied franchise makes bold moves that promise to redefine its future. It's not merely a roster shuffle or a few trade announcements. It's a cultural renaissance aimed at forging a team built on unity, respect, and a shared hunger for success. For some players, the decision to leave a team can be a quiet,
"What A'ja Wilson just did was unprecedented. I mean, on so many levels. She's arguably, allegedly, the reason Caitlin Clark..."
almost imperceptible moment. One athlete reflected on her time in Phoenix, a city that had become much more than a location on a map. "I never really saw myself leaving Phoenix," she recalled. It had morphed into a new home away from home. In that environment, relationships were forged, bonds developed, and the off-court camaraderie was as vital as on-court performance. But even in a place that feels so integral, sometimes the call for change becomes irresistible. It was a turning point when the mindset shifted from, "What do we need?" to "How do we get out of here?" This wasn't just about leaving behind an old chapter. It was about starting fresh with a clear focus on building something that truly reflected the team's future aspirations. As whispers of change began circulating, Sport Pulse was quick to pick up on the buzz surrounding a new, exciting duo pairing on the Fever's roster.
Entire 2024 basketball season in the W. I mean, what A'ja Wilson just did is really there's no coming.
"I told the people upstairs," a source revealed with a grin, "that I was ready to be something like Sabrina Carpenter. No, scratch that. Any day I'd be the Taylor Swift of our locker room." What might sound like lighthearted banter was actually a nod to the transformational potential of what was coming next. The real excitement, however, centered on the announcement that Sophie Cunningham was set to team up with the league's breakout star, Caitlin Clark. For fans who'd longed to see a synergy on the court that combined raw talent with unwavering determination, this news was nothing short of electrifying. The pairing wasn't just a trade or a signing, it was the formation of a partnership that many had been eagerly awaiting. A duo destined to turn heads and rewrite the playbook on how dynamic guard play should be orchestrated. No transformation is complete without the difficult decisions of letting go. For the Indiana Fever, that meant parting ways with Nalissa Smith, a player who, despite her on-court skill set, had become synonymous with discord and disruption. Alongside her on-court companion, Dean Carrington, Smith's departure was as much about eliminating negativity as it was about fine-tuning the team's competitive edge.
All right, why was she complicit? Because, well, she knew she was getting a signature shoe for 2 years, and she let Caitlin Clark take all.
Smith, whose talent was once hailed as promising, had over time become a symbol of everything that could go wrong in a locker room. Her attitude, marked by relentless pettiness and a penchant for off-court theatrics, had begun to weigh the team down like an anchor. In a move that surprised many, Smith was traded off to Dallas, a destination that, for many Fever fans, felt like a return package that nobody really wanted. In the eyes of the organization, her toxic energy was simply incompatible with the Fever's renewed vision of unity and collective ambition. This decision wasn't made lightly. It was the culmination of a growing realization within the front office. The team was built on a foundation that celebrated respect, grit, and the willingness to elevate one another.
On social media and kind of cool her fans and urge them to be patient and almost defend Nike. It's such a disappointment, but it's not a surprise because Nike has done it before.
When a player's behavior directly undermines those values, tough choices must be made. And so, in a moment that many fans likened to opening a long-sealed window to let out stale air, Nalissa Smith's chapter with the Fever came to a close, her departure signifying the end of an era mired in drama. In stark contrast to the drama that had previously plagued the roster, Sophie Cunningham emerged as the antidote to negativity. Cunningham's arrival wasn't just a replacement for Smith, it was a statement of intent. Known for her tenacity, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to teamwork, Sophie embodied exactly the kind of spirit that the Indiana Fever desperately needed. For months, Cunningham had been an outspoken advocate for building around Caitlin Clark, praising the star for her once-in-a-generation talent. Unlike some players who might cast envious glances at a teammate's success, Sophie recognized that Clark's brilliance was an asset that could elevate the entire squad.
Wilson, who? Why? Yeah, she's some WNBA player. Who? No, she's one of the all-time greatest players ever. Why?
Real hoopers know when you have a player of Caitlin's caliber, Sophie remarked in a candid interview. You don't fight against it. You build your game around that talent. This mindset was more than refreshing. It was transformative. Cunningham's focus on team cohesion, her willingness to share both the court and the spotlight, resonated deeply with a fan base tired of internal conflicts and petty rivalries. Sport Pulse has watched this evolution with keen interest. The front office's willingness to make tough decisions, cutting loose those who no longer serve the team's interests, has been met with widespread approval from fans and analysts alike. The departure of NaLyssa Smith, for instance, wasn't mourned with tearful goodbyes or nostalgic social media tributes. Instead, it was celebrated as a necessary step toward eliminating the kind of negativity that had long held the team back. In a press conference that was as candid as it was refreshing, one Fever official summed up the sentiment perfectly. "We're done with the drama. We're here to win. We're building a team that respects not only the game of basketball."
And these WNBA fans that did not want to see Caitlin Clark come in and do what she did, which was dominate the league. Led the league in...
But also the fans who support us every step of the way. And with that, the stage was set for a new era, one defined by hard work, mutual respect, and an unyielding drive to excel. Of course, in today's sports world, every on-court move is accompanied by a digital conversation. Social media has become a double-edged sword, a platform where both praise and criticism can be broadcast instantaneously. For the Fever, this was particularly true in the case of NaLyssa Smith, whose online antics and passive-aggressive posts had only deepened the divide between her and the rest of the organization. Critics both inside and outside the team pointed to Smith's tendency to add and then quickly remove Indiana Fever from her social media profiles, to engage in petty tweet wars, and even to share videos that seemed designed more to stir controversy than to celebrate team achievements.
Something in the neighborhood of 63 records last year, either rookie records or just flat records by anybody, not even a rookie.
To many fans, her behavior was emblematic of a player more interested in personal drama than in contributing to the collective success of the team. In stark contrast, players like Sophie Cunningham have embraced social media as a means to promote unity and positivity. Instead of engaging in personal feuds, Cunningham uses her platform to celebrate her teammates and to champion the values of hard work and respect. "When you have a player like Caitlin on your team," she once noted, "you don't see jealousy or resentment. You see a commitment to excellence that lifts everyone up." This cultural reset isn't confined to the locker room. It resonates across every aspect of the franchise. The Fever's new approach is one of transparency, accountability, and an unshakable belief in the power of teamwork. And as fans and commentators alike have pointed out, the contrast between the old and the new could not be starker. The ripple effects of the Fever's transformation extend far beyond Indiana. In a league that is continually evolving, the Fever's decision to overhaul its culture and embrace a team-first mentality is sending shockwaves across the WNBA. Fans who have long felt that the league was hampered by individual egos are now witnessing a shift that could serve as a blueprint for other teams looking to emulate the same success. Consider the impact of a well-constructed roster.
A'ja Wilson sat back and was just plenty happy to play the victim. She could have come out and made some kind of a statement that would have called off the dogs. Nah, she didn't do it.
That places an emphasis on mutual respect and shared responsibility. When players such as D.W. Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Sophie Cunningham join forces with rising star Caitlin Clark, the synergy created is more than the sum of its parts. It's a signal that the era of clashing personalities and internal strife is over, and that what matters most is the collective pursuit of excellence. For young athletes entering the league, the Fever's approach offers a valuable lesson in professionalism and camaraderie. Instead of focusing solely on individual statistics or personal accolades, the message is clear: contribute to the team's success, and success will follow. This kind of leadership and cultural reset is exactly what many believe will propel the league and women's basketball as a whole to new heights.
How could they do this? How could they treat Asia like this? 2-time MVP at the time, this before she even won the damn third one. They is wrong for doing this.
As the season looms on the horizon, the atmosphere in Indiana is one of cautious optimism. There is an undeniable sense that something special is brewing, a team that has shed its old skin and is emerging with a newfound commitment to winning. The excitement is palpable not only among the players and coaching staff, but also among a fan base that has waited long enough for a change.
You want to know what I'm selling? I'm selling greatness. Asia Wilson, 3-time MVP. We got Jordan Childs, we got Juju Watkins, we got Sha'Carri Richardson.
Okay.
We got
At its core, the Fever's revamped roster represents a convergence of talent, experience, and a renewed focus on team chemistry. With each new acquisition and every difficult decision made in the offseason, the message from the front office has been consistent. We are here to build a championship contender, and every piece of the puzzle must contribute to that vision.